Hey guys, it's Zach from Hollywood Studios here, filling in for Colin. We are back here at Great Adventure on Friday, June 12th for another visit to check out what's new around the park and to give El Toro a ride for its 20th birthday. Yes, 20 years ago today, on June 12th, 2006, El Toro opened to the general public. It's kind of crazy to think that it's been here for 20 years. That's older than me. And yeah, we're just gonna give it a ride for its birthday, see how it's going. I'm sure it's gonna be flying today because it's gonna be like 90 degrees outside today. Also, you can tell by this B-roll footage as well as this footage right here, it's gonna be a crowded one. There's a ton of buses over there in the parking lot. I had to, pass like 3 or 4 of them as I was coming in. So definitely gonna be a crowded one today. We'll see what we get on. But we're really here to just walk around the park, check out what's new, which I know is a lot. I was here on Wednesday actually, and there's quite a few changes and maybe even some changes that I missed or that's new since then. So we're just gonna walk around, check out what's new, and enjoy our day. If you guys enjoy these Great Adventure updates, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. We're really pushing for 40,000 subscribers before the official grand opening of Shoreline Pier. I know we can make it happen. We're super, super close. And also be sure to hit that bell icon to never miss an update. And I know we have some surprise Great America stuff coming to the channel soon, so that'll be great. Shout out to Colin, who is currently trying to find his way home. That's why I'm here today. But yeah, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, all that good stuff. And I know we can hit that 40,000 goal really, really soon. Thank you all. All right, we are now inside the park, and stop number 1 is actually going to be over here to the left, and we are going to highlight a ride that has needed some TLC and has gotten some certainly in the last year, and that ride is Houdini. So if you've ridden Houdini in about probably the last year or so, you'll know that you were only permitted to ride in the front row, which definitely hindered capacity a little bit and made the line a little long. That has now been undone from what I understand. Unfortunately, it's closed right now. But I rode on Wednesday and I asked, and we are allowed again to ride in the back row. And so hopefully this line will move a lot faster than it did in the earlier parts of this year and the later parts of last year, because the capacity on this thing already wasn't the best. And with that front row only rule, that definitely hindered it a lot. So very happy to see that this is now running back to its fullest potential. Very happy the misters are on today. It's going to be a very, very hot day today. So definitely going to use my paper cup plan exclusively for water today, because if I didn't, I would be a little dehydrated, that's for sure. Down here at Superman, the coming soon sign is back, unfortunately. I noticed in the parking lot that no trains are currently on the track, but I did see a bunch of maintenance workers out there working on it. So hopefully a little later in the day it will open. I would have ridden something down on the pier. The lines aren't actually that bad, but I am extremely thirsty and I just needed to run to Rita's real quick. I got to grab a cup of water. It's like 90 something degrees outside today. So if you guys are coming this weekend, I think it's going to be a pretty hot one. Stay hydrated, stay hydrated. Drink water, Powerade, anything with electrolytes in it. Drink that. Don't drink soda. Don't do what I do and a couple years ago and drink soda when it was like 100 degrees outside. You will regret it. Water, water, water. That is the way to go. All right, over here at Adventure World, we have a new shirt for El Toro's 20th birthday. This is a nice blue shirt. It says 20 years. You can't really see it because of the Toro cap, but 20 years, the bull, and the stats and El Toro. This looks pretty crazy. I love the vibrancy of it, that's for sure. I'm not sure if it's, it's really not the red and black that we're used to. Again, it's very, very vibrant. So if anybody was looking for like a different style of El Toro shirt, here you go, right at Adventure World. This looks crazy. All right, we're down here for El Toro's 20th birthday today, and it seems like everybody else knows about it. So might come back a little later and ride it when the line dies down a little more. Even with fast lane, El Toro being on one train is definitely rough to get on. So we'll come back. We'll come back a little later. Just check out what else is new around the park, and then come give El Toro a birthday ride. That's for sure. Over here at Mine Train, we'll get a better view in a minute, but they have completed all of the paint from the station. If you go in reverse order of the course, from the back of the station, go all the way around, back of the hill, back of the helix. They have completed all of the paint up into the valley point, the little dip before the right turn into the block break. They have completed all of that, maybe even more. That was just what I saw on Wednesday, so we'll get a better view in a minute. But they are, if I had to guess, 65-70% done with the ride. So it's really just the lift, the helix, and that's it. That's really it. So they are making insane progress in terms of the paint job for this ride. Well, again, we'll get a better view right now, but this is crazy. This is definitely going a lot quicker than I thought it would. So for those of you who didn't know, in the past, this support actually had a two-tone design. And by in the past, I mean before this repaint started. This was a two-tone design for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but it's still two-tone, but this is the new color. So I'm not sure if it's gonna extend all the way down. I'm kind of hoping it will, because I don't know if they would really want the double color to remain here, but yeah. They have painted these supports over here at the base of the lift. I don't believe the track itself. No, they might have done the track here. They did the track here too. Wow. I don't think this was done on Wednesday, so looks like they've stopped right there. You can see by the handrail color. The handrail color changes back to the old color. So they have done some progress since Wednesday, that's for sure. Here is the saddle point right here where the stairs are. You can see that these supports are done. These supports are not. So seems like right here is where they've stopped. This support is actually not done too. This is the two-tone color design I was talking about. Sort of like a purple and then a red. Yeah, right here in terms of the supports. And this is right where the track is stopped, right at the catwalk here. But they have done the catwalk. So kind of interesting how they're doing this. It's not really like a set order. I guess it's sort of like they're doing rails and cross ties and then the spine and supports, but in terms of like, you know, where they stop, it's not a clear cut point. They're sort of doing some of the supports and some of the track, but hey, as long as it all gets done in a timely manner, I'm all right with that. Also, I'm not going to go ride it right now, but there was an update at Medusa from Wednesday. The B train has now started to be assembled in the transfer shed. I'm assuming C will come off soon, just since it was on at the beginning of the year, and A train with its messed up restraints will stay on. I don't believe B train has the messed up restraints though. I'm pretty sure it has the normal dark green ones that it's supposed to have. So again, C train will probably be the one to get pulled, and then B train will make its grand return on Medusa. Look at this. This looks amazing. I love the color scheme they went with for this. I'm not sure what the discussions were or what the alternative options were going to be, but they knocked it out of the park with this one. This looks awesome. I love I keep saying black. It's not black. I keep getting yelled at by Colin for calling it black. It's a dark brown from what I understand, maybe even a gray actually. But the track color, that like copper look that it has, you just can't beat it. It's really the perfect balance of, like, you know, Western kind of vibe with like that rustic metal look, while definitely maintaining a modern appearance. So whoever's idea this was, props to you. This color scheme looks incredible. Also, I'm happy to report that the jets have been turned on again over here at Log Flume's final drop. Definitely does make a difference if you ride it up front like I seem to always do somehow. Yeah, these definitely play a pretty big role in just getting you that extra amount of soaked at the end. And I noticed on Wednesday that this ride was actually pumping out people, and that is because they are actually up to 17 boats. They were on 15 to start with at the beginning of the year, and now they are up to 17. So if they could even get like 2 or 3 additional boats, that line's gonna move blazing quickly. I mean, there should almost never be a gap at that point in the station, so that line should be constantly moving, and it pretty much does. There might be like that occasional little gap where the line does have to stop, but yeah, this line should move blazing quickly, especially if they get those 2 or 3 extra boats on and can get up to 20. Taking a nice air-conditioned lunch break inside of Best of the West here. I love this place. It's so good to just come and hang out. Love the vibe in here, love the food. So definitely a great place just to come and hang out on a super hot day like this, where it'll definitely help to be inside for a few minutes. All right, had a nice relaxing few minutes at Best of the West. Now it's time to go and head over to the other side of the park and see what else changed over there. I know there are actually a few changes, so let's go over there. Look at that smoke from the new smoker at Best of the West. That food is cooking. Got a boat to myself. That's how efficiently this thing's running. Look at this. Full station, no gaps whatsoever. This is awesome. All right, as you saw, just got a Zen ride, kind of a Zen ride, I guess that's technically a Zen ride, on the log flume. That was nice. Of course, I usually sit very, like way up front with my legs, like sort of inside the little front, I guess, like front little section there. And I usually get drenched. Not so much this time, because I sort of sat like perfectly in the middle where the little seat back is. So this thing is hauling, holy crap. This thing is running ridiculous today. I was looking from the log flume. By the way, let's listen. You can hear the intimate fart on the drop off over there. That's how you know this thing is running ridiculous. Yeah, log flume is fun. I got the perfect amount of wet in my opinion. Just lightly soaked. You don't want to get super drenched. That's why I like rarely ever do rapids. I actually want to walk through Bugs Bunny National Park just to check if anything's changed. I doubt anything has, but might as well. I haven't been down here in a while. But yeah, log flume is great. El Toro's running crazy. And the views of Project Purple that you get from the log flume, really great. You can see those two boom arms all the way up there. Those look like they're currently working. Maybe the tall crane's working. And then the other crane that's like off to the left there doesn't look like it's really doing much. So we're just sitting there for today. I'm sure they'll probably use it once the thing rises a little more, but yeah, they're actively working all over the place. I saw workers on Mine Train's block break, so a lot of work everywhere in the park. You got something going on. There's no dead spots, that's for sure. Curious to see if anything's happened here with Foghorn Leghorn Stagecoach Express. I think the sign's still here and everything, but I don't think the ride has been touched. Actually, no, I don't think the ride's been touched. Track's still here, and the booth is still there, so they haven't touched it. That's all right. I figured they wouldn't. There's not really like a need to really touch anything back here. It's not like there's gonna be from what I can't imagine they're gonna add a new, state-of-the-art attraction in Bugs Bunny National Park anytime soon. But yeah. Oh, look, there's Yosemite Sam. Oh, love Yosemite Sam. Back here on the boardwalk, you can see that there are workers actively working on Project Purple. Where we saw the rebar earlier today has now been covered up in that same wooden style or insulation style covering that has been surrounding the rest of the station. So a lot of work going on here, and hopefully some concrete will be going in soon, as is evident by Force Concrete. Shout out to them. And of course I just missed it, but Superman did just, oh, there it goes. Superman did just send a train, and it's sending another one right now. So good sign. Maybe it will actually open later today. All right, we're back down in the pier. Again, I seriously mean it when I say I just love being here. Not even necessarily riding things, but just being here in general. It's so refreshing to just see a new area like this. It's gorgeous. It sounds great. I love being here. So, Flying Scooters line, not terrible, but I'm definitely gonna go ride Hypno Twister because you know what? These Nebulas, I've only done 2 of them. This one and mixed at Hershey. The one at Hershey makes me a little dizzy. This one, for some reason, doesn't do that. So I'm curious what the difference is between this Nebulas and, some of the other ones. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but this one just doesn't make me that dizzy. So we're gonna go for a ride on it, because why not? There's like no line. And here from the queue, you can see they are actively working on the blocks for Barrels of Fun. It looks like they're messing with the air solenoid right there that actually activates the brakes. So we're getting close. Alrighty, just did a ride on Hypno Twister, and from that ride I could see another piece of the front of the triangle, I guess. That's gonna go right up there where those guys are in that little platform. I think that's the same platform that Phil pointed out on our construction tour a couple weeks ago. And yeah, you can see it's high in the air. That's gotta be about, it's gotta be pushing 200. Maybe when that piece is in, it's going to be about 200 feet tall. That's complete guess, by the way. That's just, that could be way off. It could be spot on. for all I know. But yeah, we got another piece going in right now, so it's gonna take them a little while. Again, actually this one they might not have to loosen much for, since it's just gonna go, you know, right on top and sit right above where those are gonna go. But we got the next level going up, so maybe we'll come back a little later and see it in place. And you can see that the panel that was sitting right here has been placed, so I believe this level of decorative panels has been completed. I think it's just the stuff that's got to go up top now, unless this goes around the edge here actually, or there's another one that I'm missing here. But yeah, those are lights over there, I think, and then I think those go around the top, around the edge up there. So not much left. Super Roundup also is not open today for whatever reason. Not sure if it's going to, but I might come back down a little later and see what's going on there. But yeah, a lot of progress going on between the Wave Swinger, barrels, and Project Purple. Again, this thing I keep saying, and I will continue to say, people are going to be shocked when this thing is done. It's going to look, honestly, it's going to look like a monster, which is kind of funny. With the sea creature theme, it's going to look like a monster. That's for sure. All right, now we're actually making our way over to the other side of the park. I know I got a little distracted with the pier, but now we're going to the other side of the park. Let's talk about Flash for a second. So the biggest thing that I want to point out is the audio. So the audio, from what I understand, has not been working for the most part. I don't believe it's a scheduled thing. I saw some people thinking that they keep it off on the weekdays and turn it on the weekends. I don't think that's true. I wouldn't expect the audio to be working for your next visit. I know that it has, it's unfortunate, but, if it is what has to happen to keep the ride open, then I'd rather it be open with no audio than not open at all. So don't expect the audio to be working on your next visit. Other than that though, it's a great ride. I'm sure we've highlighted that this is probably one of, if not my favorite rides in the park for some reason. Most of that is due to the audio, but yeah, I'd rather see it open than not open. So this morning I looked on the Flash Pass website while I was at Best of the West, and I forgot to mention this. This thing was at a 3-hour line at around 11:30 a.m. So most of that is probably due to the school groups, and this is like the first thing they see. Capacity is not the greatest. Everybody floods it in the morning. So yeah, 3-hour line is rough, and I mean rough for this thing. So you know what? Let's ride Justice League. Haven't done it in a while. Curious if anything's changed. And, you know, it's air conditioned and it's still really hot outside. So I'll do this real quick. All right, Road Justice League. I got to be honest. That one was rough. Usually I'm a little more forgiving to this ride than, say, you know, Colin is, for example. But that ride basically proved his point, that this ride just needs a lot of TLC. And it's a shell of its former self in 2017. It really is. You know, the biggest thing for me is the blaster calibration and the fact that you can't really shoot on the edges of the screen, which is where most of the points are. So yeah, that was rough. I got 210, which I'm sure you guys have seen the scores from the other videos. I'm capable of much more. So yeah, that was rough. This is actually a nice surprise. Munchopolis Snacks is open, so that's cool. We'll see what else is going on here in Movie Town. I will continue to reiterate on behalf of Colin that Batman is not open and will not be open for a while. So the redundant comments asking if it's going to be open, I have a feeling they kind of just happen now because it's funny. But again, Batman will not be open for a while. So if you are wondering, just keep that in mind. If I'm being honest, I'm a little disappointed that this refresh station is closed right now, especially on a hot day like this where it's 90-ish degrees outside. I'd much rather see a refresh station like this open compared to, say, Munchopolis Snacks, you know, if you only have so much staff to go around. I'm happy that the quesadilla place is open over here, but refresh stations should definitely be, I think, I don't want to say the highest priority because, you know, there are things that should take higher priority like Best of the West, Yum Yum, Granny's, but then like right after those, I think staffing and opening as many refresh stations as possible can definitely go a long way, especially because a lot of guests have the paper cup plan. And with the season pass sale going on right now that actually might have just ended, not sure. People got the drink plan included with their season pass. So a lot of guests, more guests than ever, are going to have the drink plan on them. So again, refresh stations should definitely be prioritized Probably, you know, in the second tier of dining places that should be open, in my opinion. It's about 5 minutes after 1 o'clock here, and the food lines definitely show it. A lot of the school groups here today, they tend to all eat at roughly the same time, and I'd say between 12 and 2 is definitely when that's the case. Again, if you are planning on coming to the park on a weekday where there's going to be school groups, and even in a few weeks, a bunch of camp groups, there's not as many camp groups that tend to come, and they tend to be a little, I guess, on the smaller side compared to the school groups. But if you are coming on a day where that's going to be the case, 12 to 2, I would say, is the time that you're going to want to prioritize rides, because food places are going to look like that for the most part. Nitro's sign is reflecting a 45-minute wait, and that's about right. Probably about 2 switchbacks back in the main cattle pen up front here. It's about right. Glad that that is reflecting accurate wait time. And there is a new change down here that I want to show you guys. I'm very happy about it. It was not up and working the other day, but it is here. Let's see if it's working. I can see it up there. Over here in between the entrance and exit for Roaring Rapids, we have a family dryer that has returned. This is definitely needed. If you saw our Rapids ride from last weekend, I think it was, maybe a little before, go watch it. It's all over Instagram. It's on my page, it's on Colin's page, it's on a lot of pages. I got drenched, to say the least. This is not up and working quite yet. You can see the card reader is off, unfortunately, so I can't give you guys a price. I don't know how much this would cost. I believe the one at like Busch Gardens, for example, is around $6, so that's probably in the neighborhood. It might be, you know, give or take $6. Yeah, I'm very happy this is here. Definitely useful for people that are just coming off of the rapids. And Skull Mountain's line is all the way in here, kind of right under the jaw. So you know it's crowded today. A lot of lines. Look at, oh my God, look at Granny's. Wow, that's something right there. Again, 12 and 2, that's when everybody seems to eat. And you know, I'd said, you know, go check out rides between 12 and 2, but I don't know if there's gonna be like, you know, many rides that don't have a long line as well. Park is doing very well in 2026 so far, and it's only gonna get better as Purple rises and the other 2 rides in the Pier open. We got a lot to look forward to here at Great Adventure, that's for sure. Unfortunately, since I am here alone, I am not able to ride the giant wheel to get you guys a view of Project Purple from there. If you guys don't know, I believe it's a state law actually that you cannot ride any Ferris wheels as a single rider. So unfortunately, that will have to wait until next video unless I find someone here magically that I know and we go ride the giant wheel. But that'll probably be a next video thing, unfortunately, so just keep that in mind. Over here at Buccaneer, I think this concrete pad is new, as well as this planter here. I don't recall seeing this. I don't even recall what was here in its place, actually, because I'm never really over here. I also wanted to come over here and check out the fish, see what's going on over there, since maybe some have been added. I know that this is definitely something they want to look at into, you know, hyping up a little more, because I definitely think that having a giant fish pond like this can help bring back the visitation to this backside over here where the pirate themed attractions are. You know, we as a group never really come over here except, you know, very briefly in the day to check out what's new. And, you know, as you can see, foot traffic back here, it's little to zero. So something like this can definitely help bring back foot traffic over here. Let's see if we can spot any little fishies here. Nothing jumping out at me off the bat. Let's check over here. Anything? Am I blind? I might be blind. Actually, I think I see one right over here. I'm not sure if he's having a good time though. Yeah. Oh no, did he just move? He might have just moved. Not sure. Here's another one over here. Little fishy. Nice little fishy. Yeah, they're scattered in here. A little tough to find, so you got to keep your eyes peeled, but they're here. They're definitely here. I don't know how I forgot to mention this when I was over there, but you know the map next to the giant wheel and by Movie Town? That map actually got updated, and there's one over here that's the exact same thing, so I can just show this one. Shoreline Pier has made it onto the map officially. You can see the 5 rides there, and underneath the yellow shading. I'm a little I'm a little, I'm questioning why they didn't sketch out the pier, because they did it on the app map, so I'm a little, little curious why they didn't sketch it out, but I'm glad it's here at least, as well as the It's Rising for Project Purple. One other thing that was pointed out to me, number 27, which is Superman Snacks. That is what is going to be the gabagool on a stick place. I don't think they're gonna call it Superman Snacks, especially if Superman is is rumored to get a retheme next year. I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but I think it's definitely in their best interest to do so. If they were gonna do that, I don't think it would be called Superman Snacks. Even if they weren't gonna do that, I don't think Superman Snacks would be a name that they would choose. So that is probably just a copy paste issue. Hopefully it'll be fixed in time. But yeah, keep in mind that that is almost certainly not gonna be the name for the old funnel cake, Gotham City funnel cake stand at Six Flags America. Taking a stroll down the lakefront here. This is right here. This is typically where the fireworks show goes off. Actually, it's out there. And one thing I actually do want to mention is that one thing they're doing this year that's actually really cool is instead of one night of fireworks, which is typically only on July 4th, I think they're doing both the night of the 3rd and the 4th. So we get double fireworks here at Great Adventure, which will be nice because not everybody can make it out for one. So double the fireworks, double the fun. So that is less than a month away, believe it or not. I know we as a group are here pretty much every 4th of July, and it's always fun to see how the park empties out. How, you know, everybody sort of funnels out right here, right at 10 o'clock or whenever it is the park closes. That's always fun. But yeah, be sure to come here July 3rd or July 4th or both and check out the amazing fireworks show. Every single year, the fireworks here are spectacular, especially that finale. Can't beat it, can't beat it. All right, here on Merch Hunt, Freedom to Scream. I love this design, actually. I'm not a big merch person. I'm not, you know, huge on grabbing merch. This one might get me. This is really cool. Freedom to Scream. I love all the America 250 designs they have going on. Really nice. Grad Night stuff still available over here. I'm actually wearing my 2025 Grad Night stuff. 2026, I might have to cop that. The Grad Night sweatshirts and designs are some of my favorites that the park does all year, so might have to grab that. But I'm not seeing anything else that's overly new. I actually like this. This is kind of low-key. For anybody that likes something low-key like this, that's actually really nice. I'm actually a fan of the low-key stuff too. You don't need to go all out with like the colors and everything sometimes. So just something low-key is always welcome. Fright Fest stuff still here, 75% off. And the same designs that we saw in the window, Skull, Nitro, then that blue Toro shirt over there. And here it is on a sweatshirt. Nice logo here, actually. It's not the official logo. It's sort of different a little bit. And then on the back, you have that nice El Toro. This I might grab. This I'm serious about grabbing. This I like. It's not, I don't like it. I wasn't a big fan of it like on the blue. I think it's just a little too much blue, especially because like the bowl is blue. The black on the blue though, that's fire. I'll probably grab that shirt on my way out though, just so that I don't have to carry around the bag with me. Now, I think it's time we go give El Toro a happy birthday ride, since I think the line died down a little bit, and this thing is just, it's flying not to ride today. Birthday ride, you know, flying over the rolling Thunder Hill. I mean, come on, we got to do it. Also, by the turnaround over here, looks like they redid some of the danger fencing here. It looks like a nice, bright wood color, and it's a little taller than before, just to, you know, have that extra little bit of safety in there. Look at that. They're lifting another crossbeam into place right now. By the way, that one up there at the very top on the left there, that's the one that was just installed probably about 20 minutes ago. And that one's already up and going in. They're not messing around, dude, I'm telling you. This thing needs to go up as quick as possible. That way testing can happen, commissioning can happen. And if I had to guess, it would probably, you know, if Great Adventure didn't close for the year, it would probably be ready, you know, around New Year's, honestly. But if they push to March of 2027, that way all the kinks can be worked out and it can be as reliable as possible once it opens to everybody. So that's why they're targeting March of 2027. I'm assuming, this is not confirmed, this is my assumption, I'm assuming opening day of 2027 is when it would open to everybody. When that might be, they said March. Probably the end of March, just to give you a timeline as to when that could possibly open. All right, 2 rides on El Toro for its 20th birthday. One in row 18, one in row 6. and let's see it come by any second now. I mean, this thing was running just about as unhinged as I figured it would be. Again, 90 degrees, full train. Watch this. Can't beat it. Seriously, can't beat it. The people next to me and in front of me, I think it was like a group of 5, the school group on my second ride. I can't even begin to describe what their faces were when we hit the brake run. I mean, look, it's running ridiculous. Anyway, Project Purple, that beam has not been, oh, it's not screwed in yet. They're having a little bit of trouble with it from what I could see up on the top of the lift, but they'll get it in soon. Also, the third launch catwalk has been completely installed. It is a bright purple to match the track, and there's a little control panel down there as well, presumably for whenever it needs to recover from that little valley point down there. I know I know a lot of other coasters have that too, so that's cool. The only place I'd be able to see that is from the top of El Toro. Unfortunately, I don't have meta glasses, so I couldn't show you guys, but I'm sure next time Colin's here, he'll be able to grab a video for you guys. But yeah, that catwalk's in. There's a little control panel down there, and they're just going up, up, and up. You can see actually just how long, presuming that those little beams that stick out, that's where the track's gonna mount to. And judging how they stick out pretty much the exact same amount, that's gonna mean that the track is just gonna go straight up, straight up. Pure 0G weightlessness moment going straight up the tower. And then Lord only knows what's next. Can't wait to see it. Again, I just want to preface that anything I or Colin say about Project Purple, everything that we say is not confirmed by the park. It is just our own speculation based on what we can observe with our own 2 eyes. We just sort of analyze everything and anything we see. So anything we can see with our own 2 eyes, we sort of just guess and make educated guesses based on our context clues of what is going to happen. So nobody knows really what's going to happen after this, or even that the track is going to go straight up. Again, all of that is just a total guess until we get official renders, POVs, or until we see the track actually get set in place. So again, nothing is confirmed until we see something officially released by the park, but I'm just guessing that it's going to go straight up, and that's going to be a pure 0G moment. So just figured I'd throw that in there. All right, so I wanted to come down the boardwalk one last time today just to check out Fresh Cut Fries. I had to come all the way down here because you couldn't hear me over the Singing Seagulls show down at the end there. They are going, by the way. Great show. Highly recommend you check it out. I just checked with a worker inside of Fresh Cut Fries, and they said, unfortunately, it's not going to be ready today. So hopefully by the time this vlog's out, it will be ready to go. So be sure to check out those corn dogs, disco fries, and anything else they have going on in there. Also, I could see that the wave swinger is tilted, so it's actually all the way extended. I think it's all the way extended, at least. Those panels that we saw on the side are actually for this, the piece that is only visible when it's extended. So of course they have to extend it to put the pieces in, and then I think it's just the swings that have to go on, and then, you know, testing, commissioning, the state has to come out, do all that fun stuff, and then it's ready to go. But yeah, this thing actually looks really cool when it's tilted like that. I'm envisioning what it's going to look like once it starts swinging with all the swings. That's going to be really fun to see. All right, just did a couple rides on the flying scooters over there. That was awesome. Actually, I forgot to mention 2 more things over here, landscaping wise. So number 1, they added this sort of like loose wooden fencing that you see all over the Jersey Shore beaches. So that adds even more authenticity over here to what was already a fantastic bit of landscaping over here with the boat, the seashells, the greenery, everything. This just ties it all together, which is awesome. The other thing was over here, they added 3 benches here. This was wide open the other day. This rope was not here, and I don't even think these 2 fence posts in the middle were here. So this was wide open the other day. Anybody could walk in here. So glad they did this, because that was bound to happen. Somebody was bound to, a guest, I mean, was bound to walk in the dunes, which would not have been good. I like the way it looks. I don't want anything to happen to it. I want them to maintain this gorgeous look for as long as possible. So glad they did that. Glad they covered this up. Other than that, I think we've covered everything in the pier. They are still working. Let's see how many people I can count working here. There's one guy back there. I think he's working on a motor of some kind. And then I see 1, 2, 3, 4 guys in the middle here. So, and then, yeah, so 4 in the middle here, 1 over there. 5 guys still here in total in it is 244, so definitely over that normal 230 mark. That just shows you they're really pushing. They are really pushing to have this ride open as soon as possible. And for Project Purple, all of the baskets are down, which means that beam is in. That's probably where they're gonna stop for the day. So they made a lot of progress in these past 2 days. We're going up and up, and we can't wait to see what it's gonna look like by next week, and maybe even tomorrow it's gonna look drastically different. So all right, just did a couple rides on Flash. That was interesting because I was actually the only one in the back of the train. I think the first 4 rows were filled, and it was just me alone in row 12. So, but yeah, that's gonna be about it. Project Purple construction continues to ramp up. A lot of other updates around the park. The family dryer is a nice change. The wave swinger is getting assembled quickly. And Barrels is just making a lot more progress. Hopefully these things can be ready by media day. We're really just gonna have to wait and see. It's gonna be very tight. But yeah, I hope I did Colin proud for this little fill-in here. We will be back to regularly scheduled programming next week with Collie vlogs, that's for sure. But yeah, shout out to Colin, who's gonna have to edit all this, by the way. Anyway, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, guys.